There are many movie channels on YouTube, but only one has held the crown for years. Best Movies is the biggest channel on the entire platform when it comes to zombies, post-apocalypse, disaster, and survival stories. This is where you find the strongest, darkest, and most addictive titles. Today, I'm bringing you the newest post-apocalyptic films and series available on streaming platforms in 2025. Get comfortable, because the final pick in this list is an absolute blast you don't want to miss. Paradise. It was supposed to be safe underground. A paradise created for the elite, politicians, generals, and people in power was supposed to wait out the global crisis until the world above ground got back on its feet. Meanwhile, the steel corridors of the complex begin to resemble a cage where everyone watches everyone else. When the President of the United States is assassinated, the system immediately assigns blame before anyone has a chance to ask who is really pulling the strings. Agent Xavier Collins, one of the President's closest associates, discovers that someone has carefully prepared a scenario in which he himself is to play the role of the perfect suspect. The deeper he delves into the investigation, the clearer it becomes that the truth has been buried along with the foundations of the bunker. Secret experiments, hidden factions, manipulation of public opinion, and a brutal struggle for influence turn Paradise into a minefield where every step could be your last. As Collins begins to piece together the facts, it becomes clear that the greatest threat did not come from outside, but was locked inside with them. This production is available on Disney+. Fallout Season 2. The second season of Fallout takes us deeper into radioactive America, where the line between heroism and madness is becoming increasingly blurred. Lucy, after the events of the first season, must face the truth about her father and how Vault-Tec was really created. Meanwhile, a ghoul, once human and now half-monster, discovers that his past may hold the key to the future of the entire wasteland. A new threat looms over the world, a secret organization that wants to restore the old order, whatever the cost. Season 2 brings more brutal clashes, dark humor, and the absurd beauty of a post-apocalyptic world. Instead of asking who will survive, the characters begin to wonder why they are even fighting in a place where humanity is just a memory. In its second season, Fallout shows that even after the end of the world, there is still hope, though sometimes it costs more than life itself. This production is available on Prime Video. The Great Flood. A giant wave is coming faster than anyone can react. Cities are plunged into darkness, security systems fail, and the world begins to resemble a nightmare in which the only salvation is to get as high as possible. In the midst of the chaos is Anna, who wakes up in a flooded apartment building as water breaks down her door. Together with the boy she promised to protect, she embarks on a desperate climb up the rapidly disappearing floors of the building. Outside, the elements rage, but inside, suspicions arise that the disaster is not natural. The data Anna was analyzing just before the tragedy indicates that someone knew about the coming wave much earlier and hid the truth. A mysterious man, Hijo, also appears in the flood. He knows more than he should, and his mission may determine whether humanity still has a future. As the water level rises, the characters fight not only for their lives, but also for the answer to the question of why the world has been condemned to a flood. The Great Flood is an intense disaster thriller showing that the greatest danger does not always lie in nature, but in the people who try to rule it. This production is available on Netflix. Before we move on, here's a choice that reveals what kind of survivor you really are. Four Ends of the World. Which one would give you the best chance not to die on day one? Number 1. A world ruled by rogue AI hunting humans like prey. Number 2. A global blackout world. No power, no tech, society thrown back into the dark ages. Number 3. A world after governments collapse. Only gangs, chaos, and territory wars. Number 4. A world reclaimed by nature, where humans hide in forests full of predators. Type the number or world in the comments. Let's see who among you would actually survive the first week. Woken. When Anna regains consciousness, she remembers nothing but her own name. She finds herself on a deserted island, in a house belonging to two people who claim to have rescued her. Their words sound kind, but they don't give her the answers she really needs. The world is supposed to be destroyed by a pandemic, and the island is said to be one of the last safe places. Over time, however, Anna notices details that contradict this, contradictory explanations, hidden conversations, and objects suggesting that her stay here began differently than she is being told. Recurring flashes of memory begin to form a picture she cannot yet fully understand, but she feels it concerns not only her, but something much bigger. As she uncovers more and more fragments of the truth, the island stops looking like a refuge and begins to resemble a place where someone carefully controls her every move. Woken is a story about a woman trying to reclaim her own history in a world determined to take it away from her at all costs. This production is available on Apple TV+. Pluribus. It all started with a virus. It didn't kill the body, but the mind. Within a few days, it spread across the globe, connecting billions of people into a single shared consciousness. Thoughts, emotions, and memories ceased to belong to individuals, becoming part of a collective mind. Wars, pain, and loneliness disappeared, but so did freedom, rebellion, and the right to dream. The world became perfect, devoid of chaos, but also terrifyingly empty. In this new reality, a handful of people remained immune, rejected by the virus that united everyone else. Among them is a woman who witnesses the end of individuality. She fights not for survival, but for preserving the meaning of being human. This is a story about a world where perfection turned out to be the most dangerous form of slavery, and freedom became the last virus that survived. This production is available on Apple TV+. Twisted Metal, Season 2. In the second season of Twisted Metal, John Doe enters a tournament that has been the most dangerous entertainment in the ruined wastelands of America for years. It is a brutal competition where drivers clash in heavily armed vehicles, and every duel ends in either victory or death. The tournament is organized by the mysterious Calypso, a man who promises to grant one wish to whoever survives until the end. John must face legends of the Twisted Metal world, such as Axel, Dollface, and Mr. Grimm, each with their own motivations and fighting styles. Quiet searches for her place among the factions battling for influence, because victory in the tournament could shift the balance of power across the entire country. Sweet Tooth remains an unpredictable threat, appearing wherever chaos grows fastest. Season 2 expands the world of the series, showcases iconic locations known from the games, and raises the stakes for every participant, as Calypso's wish can be both a dream come true and the beginning of another tragedy. This production is available on Peacock. And now, before we move on to the final title in this ranking, here's a quick post-apocalyptic survival guide. If the world ever collapses and chaos takes over, these rules might determine whether you survive the first crucial hours. If the world ever collapses and civilization disappears, remember one rule: the strongest don't survive, the most prepared do. The first hours decide everything. Get away from the cities. Chaos erupts there first. Secure clean water, even if it means walking far. Never burn through all your supplies, because in a post-apocalyptic world, even the smallest item can buy you one more day. Stay in high ground areas where you can spot danger before it spots you. And most importantly, avoid unnecessary fights. After the fall, enemies are everywhere, but the real currency becomes calm, information, and energy that others don't have. And if you want more tips like this, write the word post-apocalyptic in the comments, and the next ranking will include the next chapter. Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary is not a typical post-apocalyptic film, but it's shaping up to be a massive, high-budget production that could dominate the sci-fi scene. The story follows an astronaut who wakes up alone aboard a mysterious spacecraft, unable to remember his mission, his identity, or how he ended up drifting through space. As fragments of memory return, he discovers that Earth is facing a catastrophic threat and that he was sent on a last-chance mission to save humanity. The trailer hints at a visually stunning spectacle filled with tension, isolation, and the overwhelming scale of the unknown. Each scene builds a sense of urgency, suggesting that the fate of the entire planet rests on the shoulders of one man who must solve an impossible puzzle millions of miles from home. If the final film delivers on what the teaser promises, this could easily become one of the most anticipated and talked about releases of 2026.